Hi, I'm the ghost of Banning's past, Kira.
Hi, I'm the ghost of Banning's future, Meia.
I'm so glad to have you back.
I'm so glad to be back.
It bears repeating that I'm so glad to have you back.
It's so fun. It's so fun. I haven't recorded in so long, and I have so much I want to talk about. It's just like, oh.
Well, look, let's dive right in. What the hell is going on?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
What is happening right now? Oh my gosh. Standard, Ancestral Recall, Demonic Tutor, Reanimate, Lightning Bolt, Brainstorm. Let's just start stapling spells onto creatures. It'll be fine.
2-mana Divination? What about stock up for 2 mana? 2 mana? 2 mana stock up?
Do I hear 2 mana? Do I hear 1 mana?
1 mana.
Wow. What? Like, we had a moment when we were looking at Lorwyn cards and we were saying, wow, this set looks really strong. There's a lot of really good cards. We've got Requiting Hex. We've got the Evoke Elementals. This set looks really, really strong. What's going on, guys? What are we doing here? What are we doing? There was a moment when spoilers first started and Emeritus of Ideation was spoiled, and that's the Ancestral Recall one, where like the audio of like, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 like was playing in my head because it immediately engendered the thought, what are they going to put on the other ones? Because Wizards, as always, prints these things in a cycle. Spin that thing in a circle.
Could you imagine if the white one had been Emeritus of Healing Salve?
Oh, and it was just a healing salve.
Well, look, they just did the original 5. They were just like, yeah, Archmage of Giant Growth. That's probably roughly equivalent to Archmage of Ancestral Recall.
So to be honest with you, when they spoiled this, I was talking with Cody, and I was going like, what else? Like, what's the black one? Is it going to be Reanimate? Is it going to be Demonic Tutor? Is it going to be, like, what? Is it going to be Dark Ritual? What could it possibly be? And then it was, okay, and then what's the red one? Are we going to get Lightning Bolt? Are we going to get Wheel of Fortune? Like, we were having these conversations and I was going like, this is a little bit scary, to be honest with you. This is so blatantly power crept in a way. And it's something that I think we've been touching on. And it's something that I did speak about with both Ben Tudman and Sam Loy when they were on, is Standard's getting quite strong. They're printing really powerful effects in Standard a lot. And the cards that they're printing are just by and large improving on cards that have already been printed. Like when we talk about Flow State, this is just better divination by and large. And it's better expressive iteration. And it's better quick study. Like Standard is evolving and powering up in such a way that it's kind of hard to hold on to and grasp. It's approaching modern power levels. I don't think it's ever going to be modern power level, but it's getting close.
Modern when?
Like original modern. Like when modern started. Oh, we think we're past that?
Oh, honey.
Oh, jeez.
Not original, not like Blazing Shoal Infect modern.
Right.
But like once modern had settled a little bit,
I
think most of the decks in Standard beat Splinter Twin.
Yep.
Like I think we're just already there.
Yep.
Like the best deck in modern for a long time was like Thoughtsea's Tarmogoyf Jund. How does that deck beat anything with the card Badger Mole Cub in it? I think we have long passed like historical modern power levels.
Yeah. I don't think
in terms of like Standard's inherent power level.
I don't think Standard is as powerful as current modern.
No.
And it's not going to be unless they well, who's to say at this point, actually?
I played a modern RCQ like 12 months ago, back when Corey Steelcutter was running around, and one of the people who was playing at this RCQ was just like, oh, I want to play. I brought my Izzet Prowess Standard deck. They went 4-1.
What are we doing?
It's
also, we didn't even talk about this. We didn't even talk about this in our Strixhaven spoilers episode, which is hysterical that we didn't talk about this because we always talk about lands. And we're getting the slow land cycle back. We're getting the Crimson Vow Midnight Hunt slow land cycle. And of course, we're going to get the enemy colors first because that's the colors of the colleges. So we're getting the whatever the cycle is. Why am I not remembering? Like, we're getting Storm-Carved Coast. Storm-Carved Coast. I can't remember what the other ones. I can remember Haunted Ridge and Deserted Beach, but those are the Midnight Hunt cycle. But anyways, like, we didn't even talk about the lands we're getting back. And it feels like there's a bit of a disparity in planning for Standard right now with the extended 3-year rotation because we still have fast lands. And we still have Spire Bluff Canal. And so, like, what are we... I'm oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Wow.
Yeah. We are... First off, welcome to Boomerhood. It's lovely to have you.
Take me now. Take me now.
Yeah, this has been the state of Magic for a little while. And it is, you are absolutely right. It is accelerating at a rate of knots at the moment. The power level of cards set to set is increasing colossally. Remember when we thought Quantum Riddler was busted? Yeah.
We were so wide-eyed and bushy-tailed.
We
so
were
naive.
We were right at the time.
We were correct.
Remember when we got excited when the shock lands were getting reprinted and like how much joy that brought us? Yeah.
I do remember.
Power creep's really real.
That was also, for the record, 6 months ago.
Hasn't been that long. I think also, I do think Strixhaven in particular is a more exaggerated like litmus test of this effect because the spells are inherently, when they are powerful, more powerful than creatures, right? It's easy enough to say, oh, look, I printed this, I printed Badger Mole Cub. And you're like, great. Path to peril. Right? There is more inherent interactability in creatures, but Strixhaven is a spell set, which means all the broken things are on spells, and spells are harder to interact with and also have more of this historical context of being broken. Because when you think of the most powerful cards in Magic, you think Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall. You think Splinter Twin. You think like all that sort of nonsense. You're not really necessarily thinking, oh, Baraglyph. Like, don't get me wrong, Baraglyph, probably one of the best cards in Magic, but it ain't Brainstorm. It's not like, it's not Time Walk. So spells that have this like inherently higher power level. So when we see spell creep in spells, it feels it's more obvious, at least to me as somebody who's played a lot of spell-based decks, it is more obvious to me the degree to which we have seen the power creep. And it is deranged.
Well, I was going to say, like, obviously with, spells being more powerful, what they've done is they've just stapled spells onto creatures now, And I was just struck by lightning, and I had the most harrowing thought. Because, of course, Ancestral Recall, to my knowledge, there aren't any other... I think they did do Wheel of Fortune on one of the cards, on one of the red ones, but we didn't get Time Walk.
We have not seen Time Walk.
Yet. As of time of recording, there has not yet been a Time Walk creature, but look into my eyes. If they printed it, this version of me doesn't know that, but she's scared. And I was just struck by this idea of, imagine a blue creature that says, this creature enters prepared, and the spell on it is Time Walk. But the condition of preparing it again is, at the beginning of your upkeep, you may choose to skip this turn.
Oh, you want Time Vault.
If you do that, this creature becomes prepared.
No, you can't print that card.
That's what I'm saying is I'm scared. I was struck by lightning and I was going, I'm scared that this is what they're going to do.
So the reason you can't print that card is because there's a land in Strixhaven that prepares creatures. So if you print Time Walk on a creature, you have made 5 mana infinite turns.
I'm going to be real with you. I wouldn't put it past them.
I would.
I wouldn't put it past them.
I think that one in particular, is egregious enough that they will notice it. I don't think we're going to have a Saheeli Rai situation.
Because, like, what if the Time Walk one is, like, then exile this creature? Enters prepared, has Time Walk. If you cast it, then exile this creature.
How much mana is it? How much mana does Time Walk have to be for it to be bad?
I mean, to be fair, the Ancestral Recall is 5.
Yeah. I don't think that card's going to see play.
Doesn't mean it's bad.
No. For sure. But, like, if the Time Walk is on a 5 mana creature...
I think it has to be on a 7, because most of your Time Warp effect style cards are 7 mana, right?
5.
5?
Because you have, like, Time Warp, and you have, like, Capture of Jingzhe.
I thought Time Warp was...
I apologize for that pronunciation, by the way.
I thought Time Warp was 5 blue.
3 blue.
Jeez, Time Warp is such a good card.
Yeah, if they add... Usually, if you're paying 7, it's because you're getting something extra. So it's like Nexus of Fate, which shuffles back into your deck.
Right. Okay,
But
that's what I was thinking.
The going rate for extra turns at the moment is 5 mana.
Because Alrund's Epiphany as well was 7, but it had a foretell, and also if you foretold it, you got birds.
I think, yeah, it was 6 mana, and then if you foretold it, it was 7, but you got 2 birds or something like that.
Something like that.
Or maybe those mana costs are the other way around. Yeah, and... Yeah, Time Walk effects are sufficiently broken that they have to be really, like, silly.
It just scares me.
I think they would be more likely.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see this with the Emeritus of Ideation, where it's Ancestral Recall, but it's actually Treasure Cruise. Because the rebuy effect on it is exiling 8 cards from your graveyard, which is the cost of Treasure Cruise. It's blue and 8. Yes,
7 blue.
Blue and 7.
Yeah.
For Treasure Cruise. So I think it's possible if they did do the Time Walk one, it would be a Temporal Trespass.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Where you have to exile a bunch of cards to reset it. But again, I don't think they can put Time Warp on a creature because of the prepared land. I don't think, like...
That's a fair point.
I joked that Standard was becoming vintage. We don't need Time Vault in Standard.
No, we don't. But it's interesting, right? Because we've seen that they're doing like a mythic cycle of the Emeriti, and then they're doing a rare cycle. Because we have Reanimate and Demonic Tutor on different creatures. One of them, the Demonic Tutor, I don't think re-prepares. I don't think there's because like some of the ones that have interesting, like the Wheel of Fortune effects, it's like enters prepared, but then there's no ability except for the land to make it re-prepared. And so I'm curious, like, I'm just scared. We already have, like, you know, another thing that we didn't even talk about, I can't believe we didn't even talk about this in the spoilers episode, is the Path to Exile.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't even talk about the Path to Exile. And there's also the Emeritus that has swords, literal, actual, factual Swords to Plowshares on it. And the Path to Exile, where you destroy a creature or planeswalker, its owner may get a basic land and put it onto the battlefield. Not great in a landfall metagame, but is good. And we were debating, prior to recording, we were debating the merits of this versus something like Get Lost or Unwanted Remake, which is the Duskmourn version, where you get to manifest dread out of it.
Yeah, I just on the Path to Exile. I think have you played with much of the card Path to Exile?
Only in Commander.
I've played it a little bit in Modern. It's really bad early and really good late.
Yeah.
Right? Like how good the card is depends on the like marginal rate of return of an additional basic.
Yeah.
And I think in this format there is enough big mana stuff. There is enough people wanting to slam their Doomsday Excruciators that I think this card is bad, but it's sticking around for 3 years. And it's an incredibly efficient removal spell.
Yeah.
which means I reckon there's going to be a time where this card is good.
Yeah. It seems like something that can't be that bad. Like Cut Down, right? Cut Down absolutely had its limitations, and it was still played in every deck that wanted to play it.
Yeah.
This was the opposite, right? Where it was very good early, not as good late once you had creatures that had total toughness more than 5. And it was still played. And so I have to imagine that this is not so terrible as to never see play. But it reads as a sideboard card on its face.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder if we have gotten to a point where Path to Exile is no longer good enough in Standard. It remains to be seen.
Remains to be seen.
But it's a question. Also, sorry, sidebar. Where are my learn cards?
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, excuse me, back when we were talking about Avatar, I think I had a bit more objection to the lesson cards because I was a bit lessons in a universes beyond set. I'm not sure I really like this. But with the understanding that Strixhaven was coming, it was seeding. It was like, Strixhaven is coming. And thinking back to the first time when we went to Strixhaven, we had learn cards. It was like, okay, we're seeding. Lessons is an archetype that already exists, but surely lessons as spell types will get better. Once we return to Strixhaven, we get more lessons and we get learn cards back. Where?
For those in the audience who haven't been playing Magic for a half decade, what learn says is learn says like is a piece of text on a card that usually is an additional part. So it says, so take for instance divide by 0, which was return target spell or permanent with mana value that isn't 0 to its owner's hand, learn. And the learn is you may either discard a card and draw a card, or you may put a lesson you own from outside the game, so in this case your sideboard, into your hand. So what they would do is they would put like some interesting lesson cards from the side into their sideboard, like something that was like 3 colorless mana, scry 2, draw a card, so that there was this like additional delayed upside on a bunch of cards. And typically the learn cards were a little bit less powerful and the lesson cards were a little bit less powerful because you could sort of like pick and choose their way into a like better overall spell.
It was like a wish board.
Yeah. And when I saw the Avatar lessons, I was like, oh boy, they sure did make some good lessons. I wonder what's going to happen with the learn mechanic. I wonder how much of a hoop learning is going to have to be going to have to jump through to get to learn. Because learning for an accumulate wisdom or learning for a redirect lightning seems very, very good, but I still wanted it. Why in my school set am I not learning anything?
You learned all there is to learn. This is the graduate course now. But no, it's a very salient question. It's something that I, like up until this morning, was like, yeah, wait, hang on a second. We've got lessons. Where are my learn cards? And look, there's a world in which there's already so much going on in Standard. We now have Paradigm, which is similar to the epic spells, where at the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a copy of the Paradigm spell without paying its mana cost for the rest of the game. And, that coupled with Opus, Converge, and everything else that's currently happening, God forbid they introduce Day-Night back into Standard. Like, there's a world in which, in planning for Standard and what is coming in Standard in the next 3 years, because rotation is coming at the start of next year, there's a world in which they just went, look.
Could you imagine if they printed Day-Night back into Standard?
Hang on. Time out. Time out. Really quickly. Time out. Let's think about the worst Standard format we possibly can. Let's reintroduce Day-Night. Let's have Learn, Day-Night, Infect.
I think Learn is like there was
Paradigm.
There's a custom card I've seen going around that's just like make the game hell. I think it's part of Hell's Cube, which is a cube of like silly custom cards, and it's like 1 white black for you become the monarch, venture into the dungeon, it becomes day, the ring tempts you.
Oh, great. Great.
Just like,
I forgot. Yeah. Let's Hell Standard. We have Day-Night, Learn. We have Affinity.
Ooh, we already have.
Because we already have Affinity. We have Paradigm.
Ooh.
We have Venture into the Dungeon.
Hell yeah.
We have. Let's bring the Monarch back. If we're making Hell standard, let's bring the Monarch back for
Oh yeah,
standard.
100%.
How many horrible mechanics can we introduce? But it is actually interesting. Why are there no learn cards? Again, we're not done with spoiler season. There could be, at the last second, a suite of cards that say learn on them. I doubt this at this point. If we've not seen any learn cards at this point, I doubt we're going to see any.
I could see like one land that says like 8 mana, tap, learn.
It's a library or something, right?
Yeah. And I think that's
Study
how
hall.
expensive it has to be given the quality of the lessons. Also, lessons deck just got a lot better.
Yeah.
Get to.
But that's the thing, right? The lesson board was such a powerful utility. I remember back playing in this era when you had pest summoning and environmental sciences and introduction to annihilation as just utility good free things to grab out of your sideboard if you needed them. Environmental sciences got you a basic land. Introduction to annihilation exiled a creature. You know, pest summoning made a 1/1 pest with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Like, there was so much utility and it was kind of free. I remember iTwitch, I think, was like one of the most played. iTwitch was this little bat that was like it was a 1 mana 1/1 when this creature dies, learn. It's awesome. Fantastic card. Bane of my existence for a while. Because you just gave your opponent a card.
Yeah.
It was so frustrating. But it's so fascinating to be going back to Strixhaven, which everyone's very excited for, and the set just is incredible. And we can't learn.
Yeah. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
The power level of the lessons are so high that it would be kind of insane to let me wish for them.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I don't know, the power level of standard is just really high at the moment anyway. Like, is spending 2 mana to wish for your accumulate wisdom actually that much better than a Badger Mole Cub on turn 2? Probably not, right?
The problem as well becomes when you have lesson cards in your sideboard, if they're cards that would otherwise be in your main deck, what do you put in your main deck instead? Like, if you can learn for an accumulate wisdom, what do you put in your main deck that's not accumulate wisdom?
Well, you're putting 3 accumulate wisdom in your main board and 4 cards that say learn and 1 accumulate wisdom in your side.
Well, and also now you're putting flow state, right?
Yep.
Right? Like,
Yes,
but it is an actual cost. It's an actual thing to consider. It's if, especially in a deck that's as linear as Lessons is, what do you do?
Do you reckon flow state's gonna power creep stock up out of the format?
Maybe. Be a really interesting world if that happens.
I could see it happening.
But I can see
it's 2 mana.
But also, if you think about it, right? Even imagine just a mono blue value deck. If you opt and then sleight of hand, turned on.
Yep.
Done.
Yep.
It's just that easy.
Shock on turn 1, sleight of hand on turn 2.
It's not even that hard.
Sleight of hand stonks going through the roof. To end on a slightly less pessimistic note.
We're just what this is we're just scared. Like, this is it's
Uh-huh.
exciting. It's so exciting. We've been in a standard renaissance for a really long while, and it's felt like it's just continued and continued and grown, and it's getting kind of to this critical mass that's a little bit frightening. And of course, we have like kind of what I would consider like these low moments. Like, nothing changed with TMNT. Nothing. So you have these kind of quiet valleys now, which is quite nice. But with something like Strixhaven, like, I'm nervous. I'm scared. There are some crazy things coming. And yet again, like, when Spelementals burst onto the competitive scene, like, no one had thought about this, right? Like, obviously the testing teams that had been developing it behind the scenes were like, hang on. Everyone quick. oh my goodness, spell elementals. And then the same thing with like the reanimator deceit archetypes. But we don't know what could possibly be happening next. I think landfall is going to improve significantly. But I'm still just like, no, zoink Scoob.
It's scary. It's scary. But there's also some really cool stuff happening. Like, have you had a look at the Mystical Archives yet?
The limited environment is going to be crazy.
It's gonna be nonsense. You could open ad nauseum in your Strixhaven packs. Who thought that was a good idea?
Ad nauseum, force of will, dismember.
Oh, so pretty.
Berserk.
So shiny.
Oh.
I'm so ready to get someone with a berserk. God, that's gonna be so funny.
The treatments, as always, beautiful.
Oh, absolutely stunning.
I always love the Mystical Archives. Like, the Japanese arts are just beautiful. I'm gonna go broke.
Even the regular art in this set.
Oh my gosh.
The
English versions.
the SDA, stunning. Absolutely breathtakingly gorgeous. They've done
That's so awesome.
like magic art. Always great. Like,
yeah.
there is so seldomly a set where you're like, the art's all right. But, the way that they've done the Mystical Archives, best bonus sheet. Best bonus sheet.
It's so good. It's so unbelievably
absolutely
good.
divine.
I cannot wait.
I can't wait to Vampiric Tutor my Emeritus of Ideation to the top of my deck. And with all that said, that's all we have for you today. New episodes release every Monday at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You can follow all our releases across the socials. You can follow Kira at kirabobira.jpg on Instagram and Blue Sky, and myself at Meia MTG. You can find Raise MTG on both platforms as well. A big thank you to Bazaar MTG for their ongoing sponsorship. We really couldn't do this without you, and it is so awesome to have such a wonderful sponsor having our backs. We have a standard 100K coming up pretty soon as well. Keep your eye out for some pretty exciting announcements. It's going to be some great stuff coming up. And thank you to the Hen House Recording Studios for the ongoing use of their space. Until next time, folks.